Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Sunday afternoon video. Right here on Metal God 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and hit that subscribe button down below. And that's it. As always, when we get serious, we don't do the big fancy intro. So we don't have to, because it's got serious things to talk about. But anyway, hope everybody's having a great Sunday afternoon. Football Sunday, Week 11 in the NFL, the league where they play for pay. Giants are playing right now. If you just scored. So, yep, they're up 7-0 over the Packers. That Pack is from Green Bay. So, we got that. Niners playing at 4 p.m. But that's later, and I'll worry about that later. But we move on with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday afternoon, November the 16th, 2025, we have some very sad news in the world of professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. We lost another icon in the world of professional wrestling, another iconic announcer in the world of wrestling. No, not Jim Ross. Thankfully, not Jim Ross or Jerry the King Lawler. Anybody like that. But if you are as old as me, which some of you are not, but if you remember Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, then the NWA into WCW, this man was a legend. He did commentary with Jim Ross in the mid-80s into the early 90s, before Tony Schiavone came around. Oh, he was around Mid-Atlantic Wrestling as well, doing announcing and interviews for a lot of wrestlers like Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and people like that. But Bob Caudle from Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and WCW has sadly passed away today in his sleep at the age of 95 years old. So, Bob Caudle passes away today at the age of 95. Legendary Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and WCW announcer. And, just a sad day for the state of professional wrestling. The sport of professional wrestling, I should say, too. His son confirmed the news early Sunday morning. Mid-Atlantic Gateway shared the update on their social media page, saying, and I quote, and this is taken from Ringside News, by the way, "It is with a very sad heart that I report that Bob Caudle has passed away. He was 95 years old. His son Mike wrote this morning that Bob passed away peacefully in his sleep overnight. Our thoughts, prayers, and love go out to his family, and more information will be forthcoming." And that's the statement from Mid-Atlantic Gateway. Caudle's influence stretched across generations. Born in Charlotte, North Carolina, he started his broadcasting career in Wilmington before moving to Savannah, where he hosted a televised wrestling show in the late 50s. That led to his first gig under legendary promoter Jim Crockett Sr., not Jr., working in the territory that would eventually become Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. And in the 70s and 80s, Caudle became the defining voice of Jim Crockett Promotions. Working out of WRAL-TV in Raleigh, he handled play-by-play for syndicated shows like Wide World Wrestling, Worldwide Wrestling, and Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. That's a lot. Even after Crockett Promotion was sold to Ted Turner, which then became the NWA and early WCW, Caudle stayed on as a fixture on WCW Worldwide Wrestling and the early Starrcade and Clash of the Champions events. I remember one where with Sting against the Horsemen. I think, I forgot the pay-per-view. Was that Starrcade? I forgot what pay-per-view was that. Maybe Capital Carnage, where Sting got locked in a cage, in like a prison cage, and then RoboCop came out. The actual RoboCop. And then Jim Ross like, Sting's in the cage, Bob, and here comes RoboCop. And then Bob's like, Arn Anderson, Kelly, the Horsemen are like really were messing with Sting at the time, and then RoboCop comes out and Bob Caudle is going completely berserk. But I think he was there when Sting won the title from Flair. I think at Great American Bash. So he did a lot of great things back then. Fans remember him for his steady, no-frills approach to commentary. He didn't try to be a character and let the wrestlers shine. He rarely played into storylines or angles, but his voice added credibility, professionalism to every match. And over the years, he shared the mic with Gordon Solie, the great man that Gordon Solie is. Probably one of the best announcers in the history of the sport of professional wrestling. Next to Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. So he shared the mic with Gordon Solie, Tony Baloney Schiavone, Jim Ross, Dutch Mantell, David Crockett, and Les Thatcher. Later joined Jim Cornette's Smoky Mountain Wrestling as the lead announcer, continuing into the 90s. Away from the ring, he was also accomplished. After leaving WRAL, he worked as a legislative assistant for Senator Jesse Helms. Remember him? Until 1996. They had been close since their early broadcasting days and remained longtime allies. He was married for over 50 years. Great. That's pretty damn good. Survived by his wife, 3 children, and 7 grandchildren. He didn't yell, didn't chase for attention, and didn't need to. He earned respect through calm professionalism and old-school integrity, a voice fans trusted for many, many, many years. So he never yelled at a wrestler. It's like Mean Gene would do back in the day. Like, oh, what are you doing? Stuff like that. But Bob Caudle was like really calm. Even if the wrestler was like messing with him a little bit, he was calm, cool, collected. The Triple C. But an amazing announcer, which you rarely get these days. Even if you have like Excalibur, Tony Baloney, even Taz. Taz, and they'll get annoyed. But you don't see like backstage interviewers that much. Like have even Renee Paquette or Alicia Atout or Kathy Kelly, or even go back a few years with Lillian Garcia before she became a ring announcer. They were calm at times, but they were scared. They were like yelling at the wrestlers here and there, like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You're lying. Stuff like that. Even Kathy Kelly, Jackie Redmond, Charlie Caruso, and people like that. They had that swagger. I would say Byron Saxton a little bit, but he sucks. That's that. But Bob Caudle was just calm, cool, collected. Didn't show any not too much emotion, but like I said, he never yelled at a wrestler. He never did anything unusual. But this is an amazing man, amazing broadcaster. And sadly, he has passed on at the age of 95. Now, his good buddy, Jim Ross, went on his Twitter page. Please follow him. He paid tribute to his good buddy, Bob. And he said, I'm so sad to hear of Bob Caudle's passing. He was a wonderful man and a great broadcaster. Loved him. That resonated with fans, coming from someone regarded as the greatest announcer in the history of professional wrestling. The words held weight because Jim Ross understood better than most what Bob Caudle meant to the business. Ric Flair had a tribute where he shared a throwback clip on Instagram and reflected on Caudle's impact on his own rise in Mid-Atlantic wrestling. Flair described Bob as someone who helped him develop his promo skills and always treated him with respect, which you love to see from any announcer or interviewer. Flair said, and I quote, Bob Caudle was a great friend and someone who helped me develop my interview skills. You're a great man, Bob, and you will be remembered forever as one of the greatest announcers of all time. I cherish all the time that I got to spend with you. Rest in peace, my dear friend. JR's message reminded fans that Caudle wasn't just important to the wrestlers he interviewed, but to the voices who followed in his footsteps, like Shivani, Michael Cole, people like that, who showed a lot of respect to the wrestlers, even if Michael Cole, you know, he hated Roman, but now he loves Roman. He hated The Miz, then he liked The Miz. Stuff like that. Now he's eating along with Jey Uso and the Bloodline, stuff like that. He still has his moments where he's like, I hate you, Dom Mysterio, you know. And then you get guys like Corey Graves just trying to try and fail, to emulate like Jerry the King Lawler and his heel commentary. Same thing with Bobby the Brain Heenan. You know, at least he's trying. But you got these announcers and commentators, you know, that show a lot of respect. Even Ian Riccaboni and the Pasta Caprice Coleman, you know, for Ring of Honor, and Tom Phillips and Matthew Waywalt or Idiot English on TNA Wrestling, and even the people that do New Japan Wrestling, Kevin Kelly at the time, Don Callis at the time, people like that. They're always nice to the wrestlers. They showed a lot of spunk and passion for the sport of professional wrestling, but Bob Caudle was just the man. And another hit to my childhood, because I grew up watching Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, into the NWA, into WCW, and up to now. I mean, I've been a fan for 45, close to 46 years of professional wrestling. Basically, half my life, I've been a wrestling fan, so I know the ins, the outs, the in-betweens of professional wrestling. But, I mean, watching Bob Caudle talk and interviewing like Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, I think he did the one with the Hard Times promo that Dusty did in the mid-'80s. Some of the great Ric Flair promos before Shivani took over at the time. Just amazing. Amazing. But Bob Caudle, a great man, sadly passes away at the age of 95. So as I always do on my tribute videos, which are not for clout, I'm just paying respects to the people that, you know, made my childhood, and everywhere in between. Excuse me. As always, I like to take a little toast of whatever drink I got. We got fruit punch today. So Bob Caudle, great man. You are now announcing all those great people and interviewing those great people in that big, humongous ring in the sky with Mean Gene, with Bobby the Brain Heenan, with Gorilla Monsoon, even Gordon Soley, and all those great people that came before us, and as always, you know, you paved the way for people like Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, Shivani, Excalibur, all the way up to Tom Phillips, Ian Riccaboni, and people like that. And, you know, I always wanted to be a commentator. I still want to be. I know even though I'm near 50, it may not happen. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. You know, still working on my commentary. It's not great, but still, you know, at least I got it used on a DVD, so I'm happy with that. So, it is what it is. So, to Bob Caudle, rest in peace, sir. And, that's pretty much it. So here's to you, Bob. Rest in peace. Alright. So, leave me your thoughts and opinions and memories of Bob Caudle, the great man from Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and WCW. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's it. Alright guys, I'm out of here. We're going to record my SmackDown review. And then just enjoy the rest of my great Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. And then later tonight, we'll talk about Collision for AEW. Get you ready for Monday Night Raw tomorrow. The final Raw for John Cena. It's going to be an amazing event tomorrow at MSG. The final show for Cena. Got two more shows for Cena. Survivor Series And December 13th, Saturday night's main event against whoever wins this John Cena tournament, which is likely to be Walter or Gunther. But, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. Raw's going to be amazing tomorrow. Cena's going to be there. Punk's going to be there. Roman's going to be there. Possibly Brock. Possibly AJ Lee. You know, to kind of finalize those War Games teams. And then we got that, you know, basically this week is going to really finalize the card for Survivor Series War Games. And next Monday is the actual final, I believe the final live show for Raw, because everything else is going to be taped this week. NXT's is going to tape Gold Rush Week 2 on Tuesday, so we'll see that next Tuesday, but it's going to be taped. Dynamite and Collision will be taped. Collision will be live on Wednesday after Dynamite, so it's from 10 to 11-ish. So we got that, Full Gear this coming Saturday. SmackDown will tape the November 29th show on Friday, so that's going to be taped. So, like I said, the only live shows next week, Thanksgiving week, is going to be Raw and Dynamite, because Collision will be also taped on Wednesday. The day before Thanksgiving, it will be taped. It will not be live, obviously. So, we're getting Thanksgiving Collision, but it'll be taped, because even though nobody's got to see it, but because everybody's going to be either watching football or eating their Thanksgiving meal. Who knows? But it's going to be a long week this week, long week following week, going into the beginning of December. Even the first week of December is going to be crazy. We got Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Collision, we got Ring of Honor, Final Battle, Final Resolution, the same night as SmackDown. And then we got Deadline, December the 6th. The week after that, we got Saturday's Main Event. And a couple weeks after that, December 27th, we got World's End. New Japan's got the Tag League coming up. It should be already done. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's probably done already. We got that as we're leading into January 2026, as we begin with the first SmackDown of the year, 3 hours, January the 2nd. January the 4th, we all know, Wrestle Kingdom 20. That's going to be big, huge, as always. And that's it. So we got 6 weeks left of the year. It's going to be an amazing time for professional wrestling. So stay tuned. Please hit that bell so you don't miss any of my videos, my reviews, news, or rants, or whatever it may be. And that's pretty much it. So that's that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Rest in peace to Bob Caudle, 95 years old. God bless your mighty soul, sir. And that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. And just remember, take each day as it comes. Because we never know when our final day may be. We don't have that thing in that Nickelback video, or the countdown clock and everything. So just take each day as it comes. Live life to 90%, because the other 10%, well, we don't know. That's a DDP reference, so we got that. So, that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. SmackDown review coming up in a little bit over on my Killer Demons channel. But until next time, God bless you all. Peace.